Hello everyone, BenJammin's here, and I just saw Mockingjay Part 1, and I'm going to review it. Alright, Mockingjay Part 1 is the first part of the third part of the Hunger Games. Yeah, they split it into two parts. I would rant about it, but everyone else already has, so yeah. I'm a big fan of the Hunger Games personally. I do really like this series. My favorite part is actually the second Catching Fire, and the second movie was for my favorite of the two for a while now. But now I'm going to talk about Mockingjay Part 1. I was pretty excited to see this movie. And yeah, I went to see it today, and now I'm going to talk about it. Obviously. So anyway, without spoiling Catching Fire too much, well, actually I kind of have to, so if you haven't seen it, just skip this part. So it picks up after Catching Fire, where Katniss has been taken to District 13 after being rescued from the 75th Hunger Games, and now she is allied with District 13 and planning to take out the Capitol. And that's basically some of it. If you want my opinion on the book Mockingjay, though it's my least favorite of the three books, I still like it as a book. I still like it as a story, and I think it's a good conclusion to the series. But anyway, the transition to a movie. It is a fantastic transition in terms of book to movie. They replicated all the key scenes that I remember from part one of the book, or the part of the book that they adapted. They adapted all the key scenes really well, and I really liked the delivery of a lot of them, especially like the one where she shoots down a hovercraft with an explosive arrow. That one was really good. I actually remember when I was watching that scene, I was like, all right, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Oh, it happened. That was awesome. Well, not exactly like that, but you get the idea. In terms of the acting, it's still pretty good. You know, Jennifer Lawrence is a pretty good Katniss, and a lot of the other actors, like Philip Seymour Hoffman, do a really good job. And, you know, it was pretty good otherwise. And the effects are pretty good also. You know, there are a few explosions that look really well. Not Michael Bay. Michael Bay didn't make this movie, but so you can tell an explosion is welcome whenever Michael Bay doesn't direct anything. I'm not going to talk about that now. Getting off topic. And though there were some times where you could tell they were using a green screen. Nothing too terrible though. And also there was a lot of shaking cam. I noticed like in some of the scenes where like they're running around, the camera just bops up and down. It's hard to keep focus of anything. That's just something I noticed. So it could have been a little better like that, but otherwise a lot of the cam work was really well done, and I liked a lot of it. And, you know, it's a very heavy movie story wise. Like, if you know what's going on, then it is a very emotionally driven movie, an emotionally driven story, rather. Because, you know, a lot of people die, there's a lot of violence, and it can get a little graphic at some points. So, you know, that's just kind of a warning, even though, you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of the Hunger Games fans already saw it. And I will say, it is a pretty good transition from a book to a movie. That's the best way I can sum it up. As a movie on its own, it's solid. It did have its problems, and you know, it did feel kind of slow starting out. And the title card, when I saw it, I was like, that was kind of a lazily made title card, honestly. But you know, that's I'm not gonna harp on that. That's just a minor nitpick. And another reason I just want to talk about the part one and part two split up thing, even though I said I wasn't going to originally, I'm going to do it anyway. I don't get why they did it. I mean, Harry Potter did it, Twilight did it, so now the Hunger Games is doing it. And apparently I hear Divergent is going to do it also. Well, I don't care about that series, so it can do what it wants. Anyway, um, they're just, I kind of feel that, in a few ways, yes, splitting it up could, like, make it better in a few ways, but the thing is, it kind of just makes the first one feel like it's just building up, and that's what it does feel like. The first one is a lot of build up. Like, I'm not going to spoil how it ends, but on the scene it ends, it was just like, oh, come on. I was just like really annoyed when it ended. I kind of felt like they could have gone on a bit longer because, you know, the last part could have had its own movie, honestly, and the way it ended was a bit, honestly, anticlimactic, honestly. But, you know, I get it. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to build up part two, which we gotta wait another year for. Yay. Um, and, you know, it's a different movie from the other two, also, because it's not about the gains this time. Because, you know, it's more just strategic and military and all that stuff, and I like that. And, you know, It's a different movie from the other two, but if you can get past that, it's still a very solid movie on its own, and I did really enjoy it. I don't think it's amazing, I don't think it's the best movie ever, and Catching Fire is still my favorite Hunger Games movie so far. But Mockingjay Part 1 was still a good movie. I enjoyed it, and I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the Part 1, Part 2 split up thing. I guess, that was to add to the drama, but that's just taking more of our money and being more kind of rude to the fans. But, whatever. I guess I'll just live with it. Also, yeah. I can't think of anything else to say. I've said everything else I've wanted to. Good movie to book to movie transition. Jennifer Lawrence blank face shot a lot. Part 1 and part 2 split up stuff. Overall, I'm just gonna give it a very generic rating because I'm not feeling very creative today. It was good. That's my rating. It was good. It was a good movie. I liked it. You should see it if you're a Hunger Games fan. If you're not a Hunger Games fan, I'm not sure you should see it just because of the story. Not, I would imagine it wouldn't make any sense to someone who has never seen a Hunger Games movie before or read the books or anything like that. It's kind of confusing, but if you can get past that, it's an otherwise very solid movie worth checking out. You know, it's not it's not my favorite movie of the year. It's definitely not. It's not too close to the ranking, honestly. But I still like this movie. I still would sort of recommend it. And that's it. That's really all I can say. So why don't I just end this review here? Okay then. Thank you for watching, and feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.